Hi Aries, happy birthday season. So I am Alex Faircrest and this is your April 2019 reading for Aries Sun, Moon and Rising. Potentially even Venus, I'm working on it. Alright, as I start shuffling, please do remember it's a general reading. As you know, it's for all Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. So obviously it might not resonate with everyone. I do hope it does. But if it doesn't, do feel free to check out your other signs, so your moon and your rising and your Venus, because there's something that may resonate there for you. All right. So we're doing a Celtic cross today for April. There we go. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Moon. Ooh, goodness. Aries, what's going on? The Tower. Okay, I'm seeing lots of major arcana already. Have you guys had an interesting March? That one didn't fully pop out. I'm not going to take it. So I'm going to start reading as I continue to shuffle. Let's see. Wow. Okay. So I'm seeing something financial here in essence. All right, we've got the Knight of Pentacles. So you're on your way to doing something. You've got a plan, you're on your way. This could have something to do with finances, as I said. I mean, it is the Knight of Pentacles, right? So anyone who rules the Pentacles, it's very financial energy, normally. It can also have something to do with an earth sign, definitely. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. If you're dealing with someone like this, then this could be that it doesn't represent you, it could represent someone else, potentially. Let's see. Right, goodness. So you're on your way to doing something, or someone is on their way. But it seems, it is crossed by the Moon card, right? Now, the Moon card is quite secretive, honestly. It's not seeing things very clearly. The Moon is still in development, some project. So it could be, if you're doing something financial, it could be that the project isn't fully fleshed out yet. And it could have something to do with the Mercury retrograde that has just ended, definitely. So it could be that your project is still in development, not fully fleshed out, but you are working on it, right? Because the Knight of Pentacles, he might be he is the slowest moving knight. He can be a little slow, but it's because he's very, very steady. The Knight of Pentacles, he always knows what he's doing, and he doesn't want to miss anything. So he does it very carefully so as not to miss anything. So, if you're working on a project, you're doing it the right way. Don't let yourself be confused by the shadows of the Moon, because it's going to come into development. But let's see. This is very strange. Okay, you have the Tower and the Emperor in your past influences. I feel like something came down, something big. Don't quite know what in this case, but something has changed for you. And perhaps it was a bit of a shock. You see, it's the Tower. So the Tower just came crashing down. Maybe that's exactly what has made you move on to this new project. Good thing is we have the Emperor here, and the Emperor, I mean, he is literally the major arcana who kind of knows what he wants the most and will go after it. I feel it's mirroring this Page of Pentacles in the middle a little bit. So, I mean, obviously the Emperor is much, much more important than the Knight of Pentacles. But, you know, in terms of projects, the Emperor can command, the Knight of Pentacles can carry out a little bit. So it looks like maybe because of this big crash from the Tower. Alright, and our bottom influence, the Five of Pentacles. Alright, let's see. So perhaps because of what happened with the Tower, you've decided to start off on a new project. But you're not too confident about it yet because it hasn't fully taken off. It's not fully developed. But it looks like you're on the right way. We have the Queen of Pentacles as a future influence. Now, obviously, as I said, the Pentacles manage all the money. So, I mean, having the Queen of Pentacles, good sign. Very good sign. And you also have Justice here, another major arcana for you. So far, you have 4 major arcana. That's very good indeed. So, for justice in the future, obviously, if you're dealing with a legal matter, it's going to go well. You will have justice. You could be dealing with a Libra too, because justice is the Libra card. Oh, and now obviously, actually on that point, I forgot. The Emperor is the Aries card. This is you, right? So it's not only about knowing what you want. It's being that dynamic, fiery Aries that knows what they want, good leader, knows how to put things into motion. So I feel like you're really embodying yourself on whatever project this is. So far it looks more financial. I'm not saying it couldn't be romantic for those of you who are after that. It definitely could be, especially with an earth sign or a Libra, potentially. In that case, it still looks good. For romance, it looks like the slow progress you're making, despite all of your doubts, is going to get you that Libra. Woo! If it's financial, then the slow and steady progress you're making, despite your efforts, is also going to get you justice and the Queen of Pentacles. So that's lovely energy for you. Oh, I'm happy for you, Aries. All right. Let's see what we have here. So, it looks like you're seeing yourself a little beat up after all this ordeal. This is the Nine of Wands. Definitely the wounded warrior, in essence. Someone who has been through a lot, but still keeps fighting despite everything. So it looks like you're feeling the impact of that. Maybe after the Mercury retrograde, maybe after this crippling Tower moment, where something kind of, well, it didn't work out the way you wanted, did it? But even though you see yourself as a little flat, a little exhausted, honestly, people see you quite well, actually. You have the Knight of Swords. This is fantastic. I mean, you've already had one knight, the Knight of Pentacles. Now you have the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords, okay, could be air sign energy again. So if you are dealing with a Libra, or then with, what is it? Gosh, I'm blanking. With a Gemini or an Aquarius, air energy, definitely. A Knight of Swords. The swords also represent a lot of mental logic. It could have something to do with your job. So the Knight of Swords is here to really make things very clear, to cut through all of this murky mess of the moon, effects of the Tower. The Knight of Swords, I feel he's here to clarify. And honestly, this is how people see you. So although you see yourself all beaten up, people actually see you with a lot of energy and ready to get started. I think this is wonderful. So, obviously, if you're dealing with romance, especially with an air sign, although it could be anyone can undertake any sign's energy. So, don't feel forced to think it's an air sign. It could not be. But if you are dealing with romance, then people see you strong. They don't see you beat up. So, you know, if you're feeling insecure or slightly humiliated, this is not how people see you. This is how you see yourself. it might be in your head. The moon can do that too. If you notice, I love this card because if you see there's a cat at the bottom here looking into the lake, and if you actually look, he sees himself as a panther. Honestly, the moon has a way of distorting how we see ourselves too, distorting any type of clarity. And you can see yourself, in this case, the cat sees himself as much bigger than he is, but it can also go the opposite way. You can see yourself smaller than you are, or less powerful than you are, and that is a terrible feeling, especially for a dynamic Aries. You know, don't fall for that. People don't see you that way. No matter what this is, if it's a financial project, maybe you are starting a new business or starting a new job, maybe you're undertaking a project that you're really, really interested in, something that could potentially make you money. Don't be insecure, okay? That's just influence from the past and the current moon. But don't feel that way. You are strong and you are powerful, and people see it. People see it. Here we have, in your hopes and fears, hopes or fears rather, we have the Queen of Cups, which leads me to believe that it is not in fact a fear, but a hope, something that can help you too. The Queen of Cups is, obviously cups represent emotion. They also represent the water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Oh my goodness. Yes. Sorry about that. This is terrible. I am a Pisces rising. I totally did not forget that on purpose. I'm just too caught up in the reading. Thinking so much fire sign with my Aries friends, but anyway. Here, yes, the Queen of Cups represents emotion, and she has so much of it to give, right? The Queen of Cups always has a full cup to give to anyone who needs it. And this could represent, it could be a water sign in your life that can help you, that is willing to help you. Don't be fooled by the Queen aspect. This could be any gender that takes on the personality of the Queen of Cups. So if you have a water sign friend in your life, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, then, you know, maybe look to see if you can rely on them, because they might be of great help to you. Otherwise, this could also represent you. It could be that you have your feelings to give. If it's in a romantic situation, definitely. You have a lot of love to give, and you know how to give it. If it's not, then it could have to do with your project, with your business. You could definitely have a lot to give there, and you don't be afraid to give it. For goodness sake, people are wanting this of you. You have so much to give, and they are willing to receive it. So definitely give it all you've got. All right, and in the final outcome, we have the Page of Swords. It's funny because you have the Knight of Swords too. This is more air energy on top. More air energy there. So if you are dealing with an air sign, it's very evident. Maybe you have air in your chart, whoever I'm connecting with. It's possible if you have air in your chart. Of course, you also have, you have a little bit of everything here. You have wands, you have cups, you have pentacles, and swords. So it's all good. All right, the Page of Swords. The pages mostly represent messengers. So they deliver messages a lot of the time. The pages are young. They tend to be slightly inexperienced, but they are really, really willing to get that job done, whatever it is. Look at him. He might be inexperienced, but does he look unwilling to you? No, he's ready. He's ready to drop his books and fight whatever is on the other side. But you know, because the swords represent logic too, this could be a message coming in for you. Could be a message coming in for you that is just going to clarify everything. And obviously people see you as the Knight of Swords. So it could be that maybe you come up with this message yourself. Maybe you finally see the clarity and the logic all by yourself. If not, then someone might come through for you to clarify that, to clarify all of this murkiness, all of this shadowy kind of uncertainty of the moon. So this is really good. I feel in the end by the end of the month at least, you are going to feel much more secure about whatever it is you have insecurities about. So that's great for you. I'm really, really happy. All right. Now, I am going to pull some oracle cards. I usually use 3 decks, so let's see. First of all, for those of you who are interested in romance, I have the Romance Angels. Do excuse me, I don't know why, but I seem to have terrible communication with this deck. I never resonate with the cards I pull for myself. Maybe because I have no romantic life. It's possible. So I'm sorry if these don't fully resonate. Okay. Can we get some more for Aries? I am hoping they do. Let's see. You got, first of all, it's worth waiting, right? Divine synchronization is acting in your love life, right? Excuse me, I am in Barcelona at the moment, so all of my cards are in Spanish, but I can translate for you. Right, so it's worth waiting. Obviously, I mean, this can also apply to anything financial. For those of you who aren't interested in romance, as I said, this project, it looks murky, but it looks to me like it's worth waiting for. And isn't that wonderful? Awesome. Okay, so let's see. Any more Romance Angel cards for Aries? For our Aries friends for April 2019, please. Okay, you got 2 more. Let's see. What do we have? Okay, you see, this is what, they never really resonate for me. All right, they say, well, what is it? Unrequited love. Right, there's not enough chemistry to make this relationship last. So some of you, if you're dealing with a relationship that you know isn't working, if you're not happy in it, then it's time to start thinking about that. Just for that. And you also got very soon. Decide exactly what you want so it can arrive as soon as possible. So, again, this can be for a project too. Try and see exactly what you want so you can manifest it faster. Or if you don't believe in manifestation, then so you can make it happen through your effort. But have a very clear idea of what you want, whether it's in work or in romance or in anything. We need to know what we want. But you Aries are good at that anyway, aren't you? And yes, if you are dealing with unrequited love, then try to imagine what it is exactly that you want. You don't want this. You want something better. And that is definitely worth waiting for. All right, let's see. So those are Romance Angels. I also use the Oracle of the Goddesses. This gives you, I feel it gives very good guidance. Whether you're a girl or a guy, we can all use some guidance from the goddesses. I mean, a lot of heroes in ancient Greece were guided by the goddesses, and there's nothing weird in that. We all have to embrace our feminine side sometimes. All right, let's see. Can we get any messages, any guidance from the goddesses for Aries, April 2019? Aries Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. All right, we have Aphrodite, interior goddess. It's telling you to awaken the goddess you have inside through dancing, through self-care, and through appreciating your divinity. All right. I am sorry if you're a guy and if that sounds a little too feminine. As I said, we all have masculine and feminine energy within ourselves. Sometimes we need to appreciate both of those sides. So don't worry, Don't be afraid to have cute cocktails or something nice. All right. And if you are a girl, then please, wake up your inner goddess. All right, what do we have? We also have Sarasvati of the arts. So it's saying to express yourself through creative activities. Maybe that's what your new project is about. Maybe it's something creative. In that case, give it all you've got. Express yourself, Aries. Give what you have to give. Give what no one else can give. Just you. Express yourself. And we also have Artemis. She's the guardian. Artemis is the god of the moon and the god of the hunt. She is the goddess of protection as well. And it says, you and those you love are safe and spiritually protected. So Artemis is blessing you on this. She is protecting you. Awesomeness. All right, feel that protection. And that's strange, isn't it? I mean, Artemis is the goddess of the moon, right? Didn't you get the moon? That's funny. All right, so maybe that murkiness you feel is actually Artemis protecting you. Let her guide you. But don't let her overwhelm you. She can be kind of intense. All right, and one more set of oracle cards. These are actually I Ching cards. Now, if you don't know what I Ching is, I do love it. I Ching is one of the oldest methods of divination in the world. It comes from China. It used to be done with coins or bones, but now we have these handy little cards. I'm going to pull two cards, one representing the current situation, and the second one is how it's going to develop in the future. So, here we go. I Ching, can we please get two cards for Aries in the moment? Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, please. All right. The I Ching is shy. Let's see. These messages are, the I Ching is very poetic, very metaphorical, but I find that the messages are just lovely, and often they are so intuitive. I really resonate with them. Of course, if you don't, and you think it's silly, feel free to drop off now. These are the last oracle cards I'm pulling. But thank you so much for joining me, too. I'm so excited to start. This is actually my first video ever. So, and I chose Aries because you are the first sign, and it is your birthday season. All right, let's see. Oh, goodness gracious. All right, I'm going to start pulling. If they don't want to talk, they're going to have to. So, in 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. There we go. You have number 42 for your current situation. Oh, I'll just show it to you. These are hexagons up here. They tell us what combination it is. There are 64 possible combinations. Right, that's your current situation, number 42. And I'm going to get how this situation will develop for you. Let's see. Okay, 64. That's the final one there. Ooh. All right. Now, I am going to read them to you. They can be a little strange, but I'm going to read what it says, and then we will analyze it, see what it could possibly mean tied up with the reading. All right. So, 42. The above is wind, and below is thunder. So, wind moves the thunder, Cooperation brings increase. The wind piles thunderclouds upon each other, increasing the storm's strength and moving it across the sky. Without the wind above, the thunder's energy would dissipate. In the same way, the people are strengthened when those above act on their behalf, with no thought of their own ambition. This leads to a time of increased prosperity and progress, when difficult problems can be faced together and overcome. Okay, wow. So, it's wind and thunder. Cooperation brings increase. So, definitely that's quite a clear message. Do not be afraid of joining with people. As I said, maybe this Queen of Cups can help you. Whoever is embodying this Queen of Cups, rely on someone. You don't have to do it all by yourself. I know Aries are wonderful leaders. You are so good at doing things by yourself. You're so good at leading. But you know, if you feel you need some help, just say it. I'm sure there are plenty of people that want to help you out. So don't feel alone. All right. And 64, how the situation is going to develop. All right. 64. The above is fire and below is water. Fire over water. Things must find their natural place. In nature, fire burns upward and water flows downward. They do not combine in these positions, so no immediate progress is made. Making sure that everything is serving its natural purpose will ensure a positive outcome. Attend to details as completion draws near. Help things move naturally towards success. All right, so definitely everything you're feeling now, even this confusion with the moon, everything, it's probably happening for a natural reason, right? Don't try to force things to go on naturally. I think a lot of things go the way that they're meant to go, even if that seems like a bad thing. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, sometimes it's not, obviously, but that's what we have to look to. You don't push it if it's going to break. I don't think you're going to do that. I'm just trying to analyze exactly what they're saying. Let things take their natural course too, right? Fire and water, they can work so well together. They can bring steam. They can bring hot water, you know. Fire can put out, water can put out fire, rather, if there's any need for it. So this is wonderful. Just let things take their course. Lean on people if you need to, and know that this is going to go super well for you, which I had no doubt about because you are so determined. All right. Well, Aries, I think I'm going to leave it there for April 2019. I hope you have a great month. Happy birthday season, and I'll see you next month.